number 2. And here's what we're going to begin to read. Go ahead and read that. Verse number 1.
When the day of Sabbath had come, they were all together in one place. Suddenly, there came from heaven a sound like a mighty rushing wind. Then it filled the whole house where they were sitting.
Stop. There came a sound. They were at one accord. It was on one accord in one place.
One place.
Notice, they aren't scattered when this spirit, when this ruach comes down. They are on the day of Shavuot, which is Pentecost, as Brother Eric was teaching, the Penta, 5. Also, Penta is also where the word Pentateuch comes from, the first 5 books of Moshe, right? Which means you have the law, and you also have the prophetic word being declared through the law by Moshe. So now you also have the Ruach that has come down and rest upon Israel in Exodus chapter number 20, or the presence of the Most High, which speaks into their being. Also, before it comes down and speaks into their being, it also comes down on Moshe in the wilderness, right? It rests upon him, but yet it's not in him. It rests upon Israel, but yet it's not in them. Now we get to a point where this same Penta, 5, this Ruach, this presence of the Most High, also gets the brethren together the same way it got Israel together in Exodus chapter number 20, where they was all on one accord, in one place, hearing the voice, in which this sound is different from the Greek word phone. The Greek word phone is a distinct voice. This particular sound in the Greek is not phone. It's dealing with something different. This particular voice is dealing with echos, or the word echo, which is a distinct sound, or which was not as a distinct sound, but it's a sound. This sound is a noise. It's a noise. As though you're driving down the road and you hear something go boom, exploding, some type of noise. You're like, what is that? But you can't actually figure out what the sound is and where it comes from. For name, you know what the sound is and where it comes from. Henceforth, why Shaul said, who is it, Lord? Because he understood the voice, he knew where it came from. This particular echo is not the same distinct type sound as the voice of the Most High. This is something different that's sent by the Most High. Okay, read verse number 3 again.
In tongues like fire spreading out appeared to them and settled on each one of them.
Stop right there. Now here is the conversation of the day. That everybody is at odds on. We start talking about this particular conversation. In the Greek, it's glossa. G1100. G1100. Glossa. Okay? So what is it? Now remember, the sound came first. The sound is not phonate. The sound is not phonate as in voice, but this is echo. So the echo and the phonate is 2 different things. The echo is a sound uncertain, meaning you don't know where it comes from. It's not familiar as the same as phonate, as the voice. Okay? But it says here, the tongue, a member of the body, an organ of speech. A tongue, the language or dialect used by a particular people distinct from that of other nations. Come on.
They were all filled with the Ruach HaKodesh.
Come on.
And began speaking other tongues as the Ruach enabled them to speak out.
So, here's the thing. This echo falls on them, right? They begin to speak. Nobody outside hears this. This is going on amongst them. Want y'all to pay attention to that I've seen this said. This is going on amongst them. The echo comes down. The fullness of it comes down. It falls on them. they're hearing it amongst themselves in the upper room because nobody's in there with them.
Mm-hmm.
Now read that again. Read that verse again.
They were all filled with the Ruach HaKodesh.
So that sound comes first. They hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Now this sound enters them. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It didn't rest on them. Now it enters into them.
Yes.
Now this echo has become a part of their being.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Which means now that you got it, you can't get rid of it.
Right. Right.
Now that you have it, you can't say, I don't want it. Like Exodus 20. You can't say, Moshe, talk to us. No. This particular sound now, it talks to you.
Yeah. Come on now.
This particular sound, wherever you go, tells you, watch that individual. You need this in you because when you go and it's going to require you to know something different. That's why the sound that came was different. It was an echo, distinct. It was a roar. It was a loud. So now you no longer have the capacity to ignore the voice because it's distinct. It's loud. It's a voice that speaks into your being. A voice of warning. A voice of integrity. A voice of class. So now when you're going down the road and you hear that voice say don't turn left and you don't go left and find out that there was an accident down there, that voice is something that's in you that you can't get rid of.
Amen.
Now the voice becomes the voice of direction. Israel didn't want the voice, but we don't have no choice. They didn't have no choice. When they came doing Shavuot, they had no idea the echo was coming. They had no idea. They didn't ask for echo to talk to them like Exodus 20, our forefathers. They say, Moses, we want to hear that voice you talking to. They were used to speaking to Yeshua.
Right.
They were familiar with his voice. His voice was phonetic. His voice was distinct. His voice was a language that was common to languages on earth. But echo is not an earthly thing. Echo now becomes a part of their being. Now they're at a place where they were going just to have a feast. Kind of the same way many of us. One day we're going to come here and something's going to happen to us that we ain't asking for.
Yes. Yes.
Because the Most High knows that if he tells you, you're going to fight it. Henceforth, the reason why he overtook us this month, we were talking about the last few days, few weeks, and we started talking about, hey, man, the Ruach been in here real good, heavy, man. We had no idea we were coming here yesterday and it was going to do what it does.
Right.
I had no idea that I wasn't going to teach a lesson yesterday.
Right.
Because if I had knew, I would have tried to force myself to do it. This is why the Most High shows up in our lives unexpected. The same way that he showed up here at Pentecost. You're going just for a feast because that's a part of your custom.
Right.
You had no idea that he was going to send echo to penetrate your being.
Verse 5. Now the Jewish people were staying in the Jerusalem,
Come on.
devout men from every nation under heaven.
Come on.
And when this sound came, the crowd gathered.
Read, yeah.
They were bewildered because each was hearing them speaking in his own language.
Now the people hear. The echo came, it entered them. When echo came, they started speaking something that nobody could understand. After they started speaking amongst themselves, then all of a sudden, after it enters into them, now they have the capability of reaching the people outside the house. If you don't get in change, you can't change outside.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You don't change inwardly, you can't change, it can't affect nobody outside.
Yes. Good. Yes.
You have to build here.
Come on now.
We all have to build here.
Yes.
We have to build ourselves. Change comes with us first. If we don't change, we can't expect nobody else to.
Right. There you go.
Hallelujah.
Now all of a sudden, the people, read that verse again.
And when this sound came, the crowd gathered.
when the sound came. Listen to this now. When the sound came, then the crowd gathered. They trying to figure, what in the world going on in there?
Right.
What in the world going on in there?
Yes.
Now that they've gotten close enough, now they can hear. The closer you get to the Most High, the closer He talks to you.
That's right. That's right. That's
The
right.
further away you get away from Him, He don't have nothing to say to you.
That's right.
Yes.
They were bewildered because each was hearing them speaking in his own language.
So what they heard was what was going on in there started transferring outside. You ever looked up a word when you go to Google Translator? In Google Translator, you put in, say for instance, Spanish. You want to know what a word is from English to Spanish. You type in the English, and it translates into Spanish. While they're in there, they're in the midst of echo, and it translates outside to them, to the people. So what they actually was hearing wasn't probably actually their language inside there. It just got translated outside.
Right. Right.
They got translated. Come on.
I'm sorry, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
And when the sound came, the crowd gathered. They were bewildered because each was hearing them speak in his own language, and they were amazed and astonished, saying, all these who are speaking, aren't they Galileans?
Aren't all these Hebrews, aren't all these Israelites in the inside? It's no different than we were all in here and echo came and a crowd of people came walking that was rushing. And they walked past the building. And they heard us in here in the midst of echo, the ruach going on. And next thing you know, they hear it rushing outside.
Right.
But Russian ain't actually being spoken in here.
Right. Right.
Russian not actually being spoken in here, but they hear it outside. And when they hear it, they stop. And when they open the door, they say, all of them African Americans,
Right.
how is it that they speak in Russian?
Right.
Aren't all of them ain't no way them African Americans speak Russian. It wouldn't be a phenomenon today because now you can go to school. It wasn't no school back then like that.
That's right.
Verse 8. How is it that we each hear our own birth language?
So they talking amongst themselves now. So the scriptures start naming who the people was outside. Come on.
Parthians and Medes
Yeah.
and Elamites and those living in Mesopotamia, Judea, Cappadocia, Pontus and Asia, Phrygia, Pamphylia, Egypt, and parts of Libya towards Cyrene, and visitors from Rome, both Jewish people and proselytes.
Hold on. Hold on. So you telling me you have a Hebraic feast day going on. Now, why in the world, we know that there are Jewish people or Israelites there. The proselyte and the believing Gentile is two different type of people. Right? The proselyte is one who is a non-Israelite who is taking on the fullness of the Israelite. He ain't a scattered Israelite. He ain't a Hellenized Israelite. He ain't an Israelite by blood who speak Greek. A proselyte is one who says, I'm going to take on not only your Elohim, but also I'm going to take on your entire culture. Until next time, brothers and sisters, thank you all for tuning in. I will see you this Saturday, 7:40. The address is 740 North Glynn Street, Suite F in Fayetteville, Georgia, 30214. If you want to reach us by email, you can email us at BOOMCHURCH, I as in Indiana, N as in Nancy, T as in Tom, that's BOOMCHURCHINT @gmail.com. We have Bible study at 9:30 a.m. on Saturdays, and our worship service starts at 11 a.m. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/BOOMCHURCH or youtube.com/itsmajors1. That's It's Majors with an S and the number 1. Until next time, shalom.
Don't you know we have